From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon of Afternoons LALATE with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021, with that RECON becoming law in the next 14 days. The RECON, according to Chuck Schumer, will become a law in 7 days, but will he get it done? Well, I think it will be at least in 14 days. The incredible RECON is on the edge of the finish line. The Senate changes have been made, and the Senate changes are going to the finish line that are going to send you a lot of checks. Multiple checks, at least $15,000, but upwards of $60,000. The biggest payout you ever see in the history of this channel. It's called for stimulus. And in this recording, we'll go over how to get these incredible checks when it becomes law. But no time or place to wait for that, because guess what? You can get Christmas stimulus right now, and it's called third stimulus. Viewers have listened and applied the information on this video across the board in the last 2 weeks, and they've gotten on average $5,000 of checks. This holiday season, you can get it as well. I'm going to show you how to get this incredible money for Christmas and get it in your wallet. And if you gotten this money in the last 2 weeks, I'm going to show you how to get more of the money across the board. We're going to go to that student loan debt forgiveness, the latest offer on that. We'll be turning to fifth stimulus, and your questions answered on air about it coming after your COLA raise. And then we're going to look forward to the breaking news we're anticipating in less than about 48 hours as the Federal Reserve announces its Fed policy for next year. This is what we've been talking about on this channel. We're going to go over that inflationary numbers that came in last week, the employment numbers, and the job creation numbers, which all impact what the Federal Reserve is going to do. It's a big broadcast, but the incredible great news is that viewers of this channel are averaging $5,000 of Christmas stimulus in their hands. I'm excited for you. I'm going to show you how to get it as well. And for those people who got it, I'm going to show you how to get more of it. It's a big, bold, beautiful afternoon's Christmas recording, because guess what? You're getting third stimulus, you're getting fourth stimulus, and you're also getting me. Well, you know, I'm sort of a little bit here and a little bit there. I'm okay, I'm not that. But let's go into the incredible great details as a big afternoon's broadcast starts right here, right now, with all the incredible news direct from Santa Monica, California this afternoon. And the excitement starts from Santa Monica, California, starting right now. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful afternoon. Here we go. The RECON is becoming a law, and we are at the edge of the finish line. This is the day you wanted. This is the place you wanted, and this is the news you wanted. The Senate changes have been made, and the programs are going to pay you a lot of money. Lots of multiple checks, at least $15,000. We're getting it done. You said it. You had questioned whether it would ever happen. It is happening, and this is becoming a law. Here we go. But no time or place to wait for those four stimulus checks to lay in your hand, because you're going to get checks today to pay your bills right today. Viewers have gone to over the last 2 weeks, and it's averaged about $5,000. And what is it called? It's called third stimulus. Get your pen and paper ready. This is the breaking news informational video you want to see. Student loan debt forgiveness, the latest details on that, plus the latest details on fifth stimulus. Meantime, my commentary at the very end of the video. Stay to the very end, because I have a lot to go over, plus the latest details about what's happening with the Federal Reserve and the latest details about the latest variant of COVID, Omicron. I have the latest breaking details coming up today. But first, I want you part of this incredible family, so go under this video right now and subscribe. Go right under this video. Become part of the #1 most watched financial news channel in America. #3 most watched financial news channel in America, LALATE. I want you part of this incredible family. Like the video. And sign up for that incredible membership newsletter so you get all the incredible money that is available for you under third stimulus by getting that newsletter. It comes out Monday through Friday. Sign up for those LA alerts, which is also under the video's description, totally free. So you get that news, so you get an alert when a breaking news story or the newsletter comes out. And as we go into a big afternoon, here we go. The RECON is becoming a law. Told you would. And it's going to be the single biggest payout we've ever seen in the history of this channel, at least $15,000 of multiple checks but potentially even more. Let's go over all those checks. Get your pen and paper ready and take some notes. Here we go. Hazard pay got in there for my essential workers 1 more year of the earned income tax credit, broaden the eligibility. $4,000 of elder care, got it in there. $4,000 of care for young children, got it in there. $550 check for my college students, the Pell Grant. They got the home repairs if you live in a low-income community. They got the CTC, the child tax credit, for 1 more year, approximately $3,600. And they got $12,500 for the purchase of a new electric vehicle in there as well. How do you get these incredible sums of money? I'm going to go over each of these checks in the next part of this video. Stay with me. It's coming up in just a few minutes. Let's go to the second add-on. Remember, there's 3 classes of checks and 3 add-ons. The second add-on comes from the illustrious Maxine Waters here in Southern California. She wanted to get it in there. She got it in there. It is free money for the purchase of your first home. Yes, you heard me right. She wanted $25,000. She got a little bit less. How do you get this incredible sums of money? It's coming up in just a second. Cluster number 2, let's go over those checks that got in there, which are paid leave and home repairs, universal pre-kindergarten. Then they got the household tax credit, and they got in there the weatherize your home. And when we talk about weatherize your home, that means it's sort of festive during the holiday season. No, that's winterizing, not weatherizing. I appreciate all your very kind comments about the set. And every time I look back, I'm like, how did I ever get a poinsettia plant? Can you watch my finger? Let's see if I can get it, move it in this way, right there. Notice that poinsettia plant with the purple leaf? I mean, it's just incredible. And it's half purple, half pink. I mean, it's just incredible. How do you get this incredible poinsettia plant? I don't know. I only know how to get this incredible money from this recon. Let's go to the second add-on of checks. It comes from the illustrious Bob Casey. He got it in there. He wanted $250 billion. He got it in there. And wow, this is free home health care for my seniors and people on disabilities. Incredible. Very, very exciting details. How do you get these incredible sums of money? It's coming up later in this video. Again, he wanted to get $250. It's a little bit less. Let's go to the third cluster of checks. Here we go. They got in there the free internet and also the money for the seniors with the Medicare expansion. Let's go over each of these checks starting right now. They got the immigration reform in there. They got the tax breaks. They got this free school meals for all checks. They got in there also the free money for the internet, the money for the farmers, the money for the independent contractors, and the money for the seniors. This is the Medicare expansion. 2 provisions added by the House members, and there they are: the hearing and the Medicaid gap fix. And then the Senate just vowed to add 3 more provisions for that Medicare expansion for my seniors, and those are dental, vision, and lowering the eligibility age of Medicare, which is par for the course of what we're looking at when we're talking about an MSC. MSC is an acronym created by this channel, but the program is not created by this channel. It's created by those legislators back in the spring. And they vowed at the time to put 1 or more monthly IRS stimulus checks in there. Now, the reason why we use the word MSC on this channel is because there are multiple checks in this recon. You're going to get a lot of checks, upwards of about 15,000. But MSC stands for multiple IRS stimulus checks, where it comes on a monthly basis. Back in the month of May, I said pick up the phone and advocate to those senators, and you did really well. And they told thousands of viewers at the time, after receiving nearly 5 million phone calls to this channel, that they're putting it in there. But once the legislation landed in the Senate 2 weeks ago, I said pick up the phone and re-advocate, because now the ball is there in court. And you did a really good job. And what has happened? Let's go over the details of what's happened in the last 7 days. In the last 7 days, first, Janet picked up the phone and called Chuck Schumer's office the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and was told it's going in there via Bernie Sanders. The wonderful Lynn Glenn picked up the phone and called Bob Casey's office, Chris Coons' office, and was told it's going in there. And that was this last week. Tyrell picked up the phone and called Bob Casey's office and was told it's going in there across the board. Then we had Donnie picking up the phone and calling with his wife Sharon to Ronald Wyden's office, being told it's going in there. And then Bonnie picking up the phone and calling to Liz Warren's office and being told it's going in there. When we talk about MSC, what are we talking about? We're talking about the same eligibility as third stimulus check. Single individual, 75,000 less, got it. Married couple, 150,000 less, got it. Double it. Family of four, they got it as well. Quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security Railroad benefits, you get as well. It is not income. It's not taxable. It's offered across all U.S. states. It's not a state program. It's a federal program. And why is it important for you to advocate? Because now they are in the final days of the negotiations. And you're going to see later in this video how the Senate parliamentarian is about to remove provisions. That's coming up. It's breaking news. You're hearing for the first time on afternoon. So that's why it's important for you to advocate. And who do you advocate to? Let's go over those senators right now. Those senators you advocate to are Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. Pick up the phone and call them. If it's on the weekend, leave a voice message. Otherwise, speak to their staffer and say why you need it. Do not use the word MSC. Use simple language. Here is what the chief of staff to the number one guy in that RECON says. They now have received a total between congressional senators' offices receive more contacts of advocacy from the LA Purple Power than the number of signatures in the American petition. Everyone's amazed by the outpouring of touching stories. Now they have a better understanding of what Americans are going through during this pandemic. They have heartbreaking stories in the voice of the people across the nation. In you, LA, as you have become too loud to be ignored, please continue your encouragement for the continued advocacy as a professional voice of the people you have become until this becomes a law. And again, who do you advocate to? Let's see their names. Write them down. Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer. Meantime, do not stop advocating for your wallet. What does advocating for your wallet involve? It involves third stimulus, and that is your Christmas stimulus. Viewers are getting an average of $5,000 every single viewer in their wallet, and this is third stimulus. I'm going to show you how to get this money. This is money now. This is money in your wallet before Christmas. It's coming from third stimulus, and viewers are getting it hourly on this channel. How do you get it? It's coming up in the second half of this video. Stay with me. I have all the incredible, great details. Student loan debt forgiveness, we're going to go over the latest details on that. We'll be turning to the great details about this stimulus coming after that COLA raise. But first, we're going to go over that incredible RECON, which is going to become a law in the next 14 days. Those incredible checks that are in this fourth stimulus RECON. You're a Purple Hawk. You want to pounce and get this money before everyone else. All the latest details on that, plus what's going on with the Federal Reserve and its major meeting next week. It's breaking. You want to know. And we have the latest details of what happened with the economic data going into the weekend. Those details and more as we go into the second half. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now in the second half of big afternoon's broadcast. The RECON is going to pass, and it's going to pass in the next 14 days. That means those Senate changes are going in there, and it means you're going to get a huge payday, average of $15,000 for viewers across the board, but upwards of about $50,000 to $60,000. How do you get this money? I'm going to go over all the details coming up right now. We'll be turning also to third stimulus. This is your Christmas stimulus. This is your holiday stimulus. You're going to get these checks right now before Christmas. I'm going to show you how to get it. If you've got them already, I'm going to show you how to get more of them. Student loan debt forgiveness, the latest details on that, plus the breaking details of what's happening with this stimulus and that COLA raise, and what you need to know about the Federal Reserve and its major meeting happening in less than 48 hours. It signals where we're going forward for the rest of the year, next year, for this economy. Those details and more coming up in the second half, but first I want you part of this incredible family. So go into this video and subscribe. 400,000 subscribers in a year and a half, a YouTube record. I want you part of the #3 most watched financial news channel in America. It's LALATE. Like the video and become a member to get that incredible newsletter. It comes out Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alert system and the LALATE alert system, which is totally free. It's under the link in the description right now. And with that, let's go into the breaking news in the second half. The breaking news as we go into a big second half is that your RECON is becoming law, and it's going to become a law in less than 14 days. Let's go over all the equations, starting first with the timeline. The timeline differs on how you look at the situation. Chuck Schumer represents that your fourth stimulus RECON that has all those incredible checks in there, averaging of at least $15,000, will become a law by Christmas Eve, which is about less than a week away. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think he's going to get it done that day. However, I think he's going to get it done a few days later. The way he would get it done by Christmas Eve would involve him working and those senators working on voting this coming weekend before Christmas Eve, like the 22nd, the 21st, the 23rd. If they don't, then I don't think they're going to get it done by the 24th. I think they're going to get around the 27th, 28th, the 29th. Here's the issue. He needs a certain number of days to vote in the Senate, where he is located, and enough days to vote in the House, where Nancy's located. They're changing a period, they're changing a comma, they're changing at least a few words. If they do, the legislation has to go back to the House. So how many days of voting does that take? 1 day for the Senate, 2 days for Senate Voter Rama, 1 day for the House, at least. That's 4 days. So when does he want to start the voting? He wants to start the voting the week of Christmas, which is a half-week working week, folks. So you can't do 4 days of working week in a 3-day week. Obviously, it doesn't make sense. Now, if they start it the weekend before, they can get it done. If they don't, it's right afterwards. Is it going to happen? Absolutely, it's going to become a law, in my opinion. Again, this is my opinion, but analysts, or it's actually my analysis of the situation. It's not opinion, it's analysis, because there is too much at stake not to get it done in the month of December, and doing it in January is a time bomb. I'll tell you why. First, there's 3 major moving forces that are signaling get it done this week, middle of December. First, is perhaps the most important one, is what Senator Tim Kaine, Democrat, says, that many of these provisions, which you're going to see in a second, are a continuation of the third stimulus, and they expire on January 15th. You cannot let them expire on January 14th and pass the law on the 13th. No, you have to actually pass the law in December. And so that is really why they want to do it, because the language is actually written to continue them. They haven't written the language in case they expire them. So it would make it much easier on their work to get it done in December. Number 2, analysts, both conservative and Republican, all agree it's going to get done in December. Number 3, there's a new spirit of compromise between Mitch and Chuck, which we did not know of until it was unearthed about last Thursday. Starting the month of October, before Halloween, Mitch McConnell reached out to Chuck Schumer, says, I want to have no more procedural battles with you. I want to keep this a private gentleman's agreement between you and I. We're going to have no more procedural battles, and we can get things done quickly. You can spend what you want to spend. I'm not going to co-sign it, but I'm not going to cause procedural battles. And boy, it has worked. And I think this is why the RECON is going to get done very smoothly, with the Democrats only needing Democrats to vote for it. What's important to understand is you started this month with 4 bodies of law to be done. And a lot of people are saying they can't get it all done in this month of December. They've gotten them all done now, with the exception of the RECON. They got the debt ceiling raised. They got the other debt ceiling moved to February. They got the defense spending bill done. And so this is the only thing that's really left to be done. So will it happen? Yes. Will you get this money in the month of December? You'll not receive the money in the month of December, but shortly thereafter. And this is the biggest payout you've ever seen in the history of this channel. It's for stimulus. And let's go over all these incredible checks starting right now. Get that pen and paper ready. I want you to take notes. I want you to know what the programs are. If you have questions about how do I get it when it becomes law, bring those questions on air. I'll be answering them as well. All right, here we go. The first incredible program that's in this fourth stimulus RECON is the paid leave. It pays a lot. $1,700 a week if you make $70,000 or more per year. $800 a week approximately if you make $35,000 or more per year approximately. And then if you make about $15,000 or more per year, about $400 a week. Yeah, it's a lot of money. On the high end, it's $5,000 to $6,000. Who gets this? All type of workers, W-2, 1099, all type of income levels. But if you don't work and live with your son or daughter and they do work and they have to take off from the doctor once a week to take you to the doctor, take off from work to take you to the doctor once a week, they're going to get the check for the household. Wow. Next provision they got in there is a SALT cap. The SALT cap is the limit on how much you can deduct on the federal tax return of what you pay in state and local taxes. It's currently $10,000. They got it in there at $72,500, raising it a lot. They got in there $40 billion of free job training, very important because millions of Americans want to take bigger paying jobs. And then they got one of the best provisions in this here that millions of Americans ask, and lots of viewers send me private messages about, the cheaper medical insurance. In 12 Republican states, the Republican governors vowed to never pay for Obamacare, so they got a workaround plan that will provide subsidized private insurance for many years to low-income uninsured people in those states, which then brings us to the best provision. This is where you want to have that pen and paper absolutely ready. It's the one that pays you a lot. It's the $150 billion of housing. And there's three new provisions: the home repairs, the weatherize your home, and the first-time home purchases, and the three returning provisions, which you will recognize. They are rent, utilities, mortgage assistance. Yes, they were in the vestiges of first stimulus. They were a little bit in second stimulus, and they were in third stimulus. And I'm going to show you how to get them, because guess what? You don't have to wait for fourth stimulus to become law. This, my friends, is your Christmas stimulus. This is your Christmas stimulus. It's third stimulus. And in the last 2 weeks, what a success story. 2 weeks ago, I brought this back into the equation on this channel because I knew you had bills. I knew you had bills to pay. I knew you had to free up those bills, not have to pay your rent this month, not have to pay your utility bills, so you could have extra cash in the bank and use that cash to buy holiday gifts. You have done it. You have listened and learned. But guess what? I got more of this money for you in the final 5 minutes of this video. And so stay with me. I have a big surprise at the final 5 minutes of this video. All right, let's go over how you get this incredible sums of money. We're going to get that rent, utilities, mortgage, assistance, and more. And this is for everyone. Let's take a step back to December 2020, a year ago this month. A year ago this month, we were between first and second stimulus. Second stimulus was not yet law. We were waiting for it. And I said, you need your bills paid. Let me get you some money. And I said, it's rent and utilities. And it was not a lot of rent and utilities at the time. Yeah, you remember. And I showed you how to get it. And viewers like Tyrone, his family of four out of Boston, got $15,000 of rent, paid all his rent in the spring, and it made his Christmas season. Then, at the time, in December, I had a piece of paper, a series of papers that was an exclusive about a new body of legislation. I told you I'm coining the phrase third stimulus. It's coming up next year. It has a lot of checks in there, a lot of checks for housing that we're already doing under this first, second stimulus universe. I said, you're learning the skills of how to do this. Get ready, because when third stimulus becomes law, there's so much more of it in there, about $47 billion. And you are going to pounce, and I think I can get you about $15,000. I said, there's a $1,400 stimulus check in there, but don't focus on the $1,400. Focus on the $15,000. There's an extra period in there. And you did. And when it became law, you got an average $45,000 from that third stimulus. You got it in the spring. Then over the summer, I said, get another round. And some of you did. Well, guess what? 2 weeks ago, I brought it back in this channel because I said, there's two things that's going on. And I don't think people know this. And you didn't until I recorded. One, people did not know if they had gotten this money before early in this year that they were allowed to get another round. For example, if you got rent early this year, could you get a round of rent? Of course you could, but no one was telling people that. And so I explained it on there. Number two, a lot of people who had never got to this money before, had just found this channel in the last few months, didn't know that there was money still around. They thought it had been used up. What hadn't? And boy, the incredible success stories came on in. And let me read you some new success stories today on Afternoons LA. Amy says, thank you for your unprecedented dedication to helping your viewers help attain financial independence during this uncertain times of hardship since the beginning of COVID's appearance in our nation. Your extensive coverage of detailed current information has been a blessing to so many. Your demeanor is always pleasant, positive, and witty as a pillar of hope for the American people. Very, very kind. I like her message because of what's coming up. So she lives in a rural area of Kentucky, summer shade, with her husband. And she said, tell people that there's money everywhere. These people who think that even the most rural area, there's no money, there is. And she's an example. Kentucky, and it's rural. and also keep the people of Kentucky in your prayers because of what happened in the last 2 days because of tornadoes. So she's got one round of utilities earlier this year, then got a second round, then got a third round just this week. She got one round of rent earlier this year, and she got another round just this week, and then she got food stamps. And she said, "Thank you for God's favor. Thank you so much." And let's go to Sandra. She got money. Here is the incredible Judy. I love Judy's story. Why? Because she got the money forward. Like I always tell you, she got December this month and then January, February next year as well. And she says, "Ella, your Jesus is disguised." I appreciate that. Thanks to your reporting, I got money for December, January, February was rent, and last year I got rent as well from your channel. So I'm so happy I was able to get Christmas gifts. I wanted to help my loved ones. I've been listening to you since March 2020, and I'll be getting money next year as well. You better, you better. We're gonna get together. You are the best. Happy holidays. I appreciate that. You know why I love that? Because that's what I teach. It's called financial independence. I can't fix the car in the driveway. I don't have car stimulus. I'll never have car stimulus. But I can get your rent paid. So instead of paying $1,000 a month of rent, you have an extra $1,000 in the bank. And you can use that money to go fix the car. Or in this case, keep that money. She saved, how much she saved? About $3,000. So with that $3,000, she was able to go buy Christmas gifts. That's how we do financial independence on this channel. Congratulations to Judy. Sandra got money as well, which is rent and utilities. And she says, "Thank you so much." Thank you back. Tony got money. And there is another Thorn Diaz. Love that name. I got 4 more months of rent just a few days ago. Then here's Deborah got 6 months. Chef John Meyer is looking to get additional SNAP. That's the way you push. And looking to get those utilities. Send me an update, Chef John Meyer, if you got it. And then Lynn Glenn, you know her. She got a rent earlier this year. She got another 4 more months just a few days ago. That's how we rock and roll. Robin, love Robin's story. She got 3 rounds from one utilities, 3 rounds from another utilities this week. How do you get that? It's coming up just a second. She says, "You're an angel in disguise." I appreciate that. And then Dean Miller says, "I got 4 more months of rent." Incredible. And then we have Madonna, who got 3 rounds. We have Kathy, who says, "You're a godsend." I appreciate that. She got about $6,000. We have Melu, who got about $5,000, 3 items. We have Morel, who got 3 items as well. And then we have Chris. I love Chris's story. He got $10,000 earlier this year. And then he says, "I would have never known about this other round that I can get." I appreciate your dedication and information, and I thank you, Chris, for the incredible comment. He got another $5,000 because he heard me saying you can get the additional sums. And so get your pen and paper out. Get your pen and paper out, and there's money everywhere. Remember, this is an informational news channel, and you want to take notes. You want to get this money. So it's important you do exactly what I cover in this video. And the final 5 minutes of this video, I have a commentary about what's going on with this rent. Stay with me in the final 5 minutes of this video and learn how to get more of this money. But first, let's get the first sums. First, you want to get that rent. Oh boy, it has grown a lot. It was $20,000 to $30,000. This is a graphic 3 months ago. Now it's upward of $40,000. The last week, one viewer got $40,000 for rent. Another viewer got $138,000 for his family for multiple items. Biggest payout we ever seen in this history of this channel. Congratulations. Where do you get this rent? From 6 places. Here you go. City Hall. These are the 6 places to reach out. City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. State Hall and State House Authority. And the keywords you say are rent assistance because of COVID. Rent or mortgage utility assistance because of COVID. You do the same thing for mortgage assistance. Here's utilities. Go get it. Reach out to all your utility companies. If you have 5, reach out to all 5. Mark's brother-in-law is getting $15,000. Then SNAP. If you have not gotten on SNAP, you should. If you got a third stimulus check, you qualify for SNAP. What is it? It's food. It is money for your food. You get it from Department of Agriculture, and it pays a lot. It went up 25% starting in the month of October, a lifetime. Everyone's benefits are going up, and Mark's brother-in-law is getting $25,000 a year because of the channel. Yeah, do the math. It's $250,000 he's getting from LALATE over the next 10 years. Then get combo items. Here's Nisi. She and Art Sullivan started it. They got 3 items. I said, do what Nisi and Art did. They got 3 items. Mark was at 2 items at $32,000. I said, Mark was your third. He got his third, brought him to 50,000. Now he's at over 100,000. Lorraine, she was at 105, and now she's at 120. And there we rock and roll. Let's turn to the incredible inspirational story of Johnny. Johnny was a viewer just like yourself. watching the video on a Monday, like two other people in another part of the country. They didn't know each other. By the middle of the week, they separately sent me private messages. They each got 3 programs approved in 3 days. How much did they get? They all got 45,000. Great. But the difference was with Johnny was he did not stop there. He had heard my recordings in which I say, don't stop. Get as many programs approved as possible. And he did. By the end of the week, he got 7 programs approved. This is part 1 of a 3-part story. Why do I like part 1? Because Johnny got at least 15 phone calls made. To get 7 yeses, to get 7 programs funding you, you're going to have a no's. You're going to have some no's. You're going to have maybe 50% no's. That means he had to have made at least 15 phone calls. For the viewer who says, I made 1 phone call, I got a rejection, I'm doing it wrong. No, you're not doing it wrong. Johnny got rejections. He had to. You're not going to get 100% yeses. How much money you get from the 7 programs in 5 days? $80,000. Part 2 of Johnny's incredible story came the following Monday when he reached out to his 2 family members, say, hey, I got $80,000 last week. They said, from what, Johnny? LALATE. They said, oh, I've heard about him. What did LALATE help you get that money from? He said, third stimulus. They said, how come we haven't heard about this on broadcast media? He said, they don't cover it. LALATE covers it. And he said, okay, show me how you do this. And he did. He showed them. And each of them went from non-believers to believers in 5 days. By the weekend, they each had $50,000. The landscape in America right now is this channel is the number 3 most watched financial news channel, broadcast or YouTube, TV or YouTube, in the nation. And there's a lot of things that cover in financial news. And just because I don't cover some of those other subject matters doesn't mean they don't exist. Just because they don't cover some of my subject matters doesn't mean they don't exist either. Let's turn to the third part of Johnny's story, which came in 2 Sundays ago. I was watching Sunday Night Football, and I got a private message on Instagram. Johnny said more people kept on coming over the house asking for help. They had heard what I had done, and I helped them. I said, how many people did you help, Johnny? 32 people I helped out. They were watching the videos, your videos with me, listening how to get this incredible sums of money, and they kept on pushing across the board. And I said, how much money did those 32 people get because of this channel and your help? He said, $850,000. That's how we do it, folks. We cash checks. So go right on this video right now and sign up for that membership newsletter. That comes out Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alert system and the LALATE alert system. You want to get that membership newsletter because it features the 6 places you must reach out to. The 5 nonprofits not featured in this recording. The 5 nonprofits and what they pay for, not featured in this recording. The 1 nonprofit that helps with home repairs, not featured in this recording. It also features the treasury statement you want to read before reaching out for that rent, not featured in this recording. And it also features the keywords you say and the 3 musts across the board. And with that, let's go right back into 4th stimulus. We left off in 4th stimulus at the housing provision. Wow. So there are 3 new housing provisions in there. And what are they? The 3 new housing provisions are money to repair your home if you live in a low-income community, number 1. Weatherize your home all across the board, all type of incomes. This is like the window and the roof, the glass. And then the first-time home purchases. This is money given to the seller in your name from the federal government at the time of escrow, closing of escrow. It's incredible. So what other provisions are in this 4th stimulus recon? They got $150 billion of in-home health care for seniors and people on disabilities. They got in there the $550 check for the college student, the Pell Grant. Incredible. And then they got $12,500 in there for an electric vehicle, U.S. auto manufactured, and also Ford, and also if it's a unionized and on U.S. soils. Which brings us to one of the best provisions of recon, the cheaper medication prices. Day 1, 20 medications will be dramatically discounted. And they are the most expensive medications currently: cancer, arthritis, and diabetes. Medicare Part B, Medicare Part D. They'll grow by the number of medications to 30 by the year 2028 and not increase more than the rate of inflation per year. If there is, there's a penalty provision. Penalty provision? You can't put a penalty provision in a recon. Well, we will see if that's the case, because that's what Senator Pat Toomey and myself both say. That is what the Senate parliamentarian is set to rule on any minute this week. It's down to the finish line, and she's been looking at this recon since day 1, and all the drafts and all the drafts and all the drafts. And Chuck has now given her the final drafts for her to do her bird bath, which removes provisions that cannot go by recon. Do I think this one will go out? I think it will. Will anything else go out? Well, I believe the immigration reform is coming out. She previously ruled it cannot go by recon. The paid leave is a battleground. We don't know what's going to happen with that. And there may be some surprises. So remember, she removes a provision. The money doesn't come out. The money has to go somewhere else. So there's going to be a scramble to figure out where else to send the money. If she leaves the paid leave in there, there's going to be a scramble of Chuck and Joe Manchin. Because Joe Manchin since day one says that's the breaker, make provision for him. You leave paid leave in there, he is going to vote against the recon. So we will see. Now, if you're looking at this graphic, 15,000, yeah, you certainly have seen what I said earlier in this video. There's not $15,000 in this fourth stimulus recon for you. It's about 50 to 60,000 because you got everything from third stimulus repeat, the page of $45,000. You have those Senate changes, and then you have really the core of the recon that is about 15,000. Yeah, there's about $50,000 in there across the board. Let's go over some more of those checks right now. They got it in there, the universal pre-kindergarten. They got the hearing check for the hearing age and the Medicare coverage for the home health care. But what provisions are repeat from third stimulus they have to do or they'll lapse? They are the earned income tax credit, back end, the child care credit, back end, and the CTC $3,600 front end. Then we already went over the Pell Grant, we already went over the nutrition, and we also went over the home repairs. Well, what else is going on with those senators? Bernie represents, he's adding those three provisions, which are the Medicaid gap fixes, the Medicaid, lowering the eligibility age of Medicare, dental, and vision. We'll see if they go in there as well. But let's take a detour for just a blink of an eye to student loan debt. There's an executive order offer from the president, $10,000 to be forgiving student loan debt across the board. Democrats should take it. The president already gave them a forgiveness for people who became disabled. People went to work in the nonprofit sector. People went to work in the public sector. COLA and your fifth stimulus. A lot of great questions coming in almost on the hour. Some of them I know the answer, some of them I don't. So let's go over the details. Your benefits are going up January 1, 5.9%. It's because of COLA, cost of living adjustment, which has been the benchmark all along, but hasn't moved. This year it's moving because inflation's moving. And your benefits are going up January 1. Now, if you're a veteran, your benefits went up in some places in December. Is fifth stimulus right behind this? It is. So fifth stimulus says COLA doesn't work. We want to get rid of COLA and replace it with a new benchmark, which would be inflation. And that's going to be 2 to 3% next year, and then raise you up one time. Remove the asset cap, remove the income cap, and remove the marriage penalty. And with that, let's go into really what's going on this coming week with the Federal Reserve, because this is very important for you folks. Very, very critical. Perhaps the most important meeting of the Federal Reserve of the entire year will be in less than 48 hours. The Federal Reserve will give us a guidance as to where its policy will be in 2022. Now, they may not tell us everything we want to be told, or they may just tell us a little bit of it and leave us guessing. But it was a month ago that we looked at the situation and said the economy was rebounding slowly, and that tapering would be slow from the Federal Reserve, and that the first interest rate spike from the Federal Reserve would come in fall of 2022. Why? During the pandemic, the Federal Reserve has been supporting the economy by buying back mortgage-backed securities, and they've already told us they're going to stop doing that because they don't need to support the economy anymore. It's to create liquidity. Liquidity is not a problem in this economy anymore. So they want to taper. How fast is the tapering going to be? Well, let's go over what the Federal Reserve now has in its hand of deck, its hand of cards going into this next week. Not one, not two, but three major economic data points, and one that came over in the last few hours. And they are all shocking. First, a week ago on Friday, Wall Street crashed because the final jobs number of the 2021 year came in, and it was a blowout. It was huge. It was astronomically great news. It was the lowest unemployment we've seen in nearly half a century. Labor participation was great. People were not on the sideline anymore. They're coming back to the workforce. And the cost of labor for employers was coming down. So it was a huge, great number. And that's why Wall Street crashed 1,000 points and has not come back really that strong since. That's why crypto went down 50% overnight the following day and has not come back much at all. Then, the following Thursday, the unemployment claims number comes in, as you know it, as does every Thursday. This is how many people newly filed for unemployment the week before. It's a number covered on this channel every single week this channel has been around. On the first 21 weeks of this 25 weeks of this channel, the number was 1 million new unemployment claims per week, the worst number or record since the Great Depression. Well, in recent weeks, it's come down 800,000, that's 700, 500, 300. It had been hovering around 300 recently this month because pre-pandemic was about 225. So where did it come in this last week? 184,000 new unemployment claims Thursday morning, the lowest number since the 1960s. Now, if you adjust the size of the US population now to the size of the US population in the 1960s, this is an astronomically small number across the board. So that is the second biggest number that the Federal Reserve is looking at. The final third number came in this last Friday. And what was it? Here's where I have to give myself a pat on the back, because as a person with financial background, I know how to predict things. I know how to look at and analyze things for you. And in the summer, when we were doing fifth stimulus and we were talking about that benchmark inflation, I kept on using that hand gesture like this. Remember? Up and down and up and up and down. And I said to you at the time that the Federal Reserve was saying that that the inflation rate would go up by December, and that it would peak in December with the word transitory and come back down. And I told you the Federal Reserve was saying it was going to peak at 2%, come back down. And I kept on saying hogwash. I did not believe it was going to be 2%. I told you that I was at 10%. Jeremy Sieg was at 20%. He's the professor at the Wharton School of Business. And then I said, I think I'm a little too high at 10%. Let me come down to at least 5%. No one was talking about 5%. They're all in the twos and threes. I said, it's not going to be 2 or 3%. It came in at 6.9%. Right on the money, close to where I was in my range of 5 to 10. There you go. So those are three massive, strong economic numbers, which signals the Federal Reserve is going to come in and tighten and spike sooner because it had underestimated how strong this economy is. Number one, it's going to taper faster. Number two, it's going to have 2 interest rate spikes next year, not one initially thought. And the first one, I believe, will come in Q1 2021. If this is anything like what I'm predicting, I think that Wall Street will have a major correction, which is a crash around the 15th of December, and crypto will crash as well, because this was something we didn't see even 30 days ago. This is a very robust situation. Finally, what's happening with Omicron. Omicron is now in the majority of US states, but it is not the majority of severe cases. It is still Delta. There is no deaths from Omicron yet, but with Omicron really not changing the situation, that is signaling that the Fed has no reason to sort of blame economic policies, to blame its hesitance on economic policy on Omicron, meaning it has to now look at those economic data points, those three I just showed you, and say, it's just too strong. We need to come in and deal with this across the board. And with that, let me go into my final 5 minutes of commentary today, and I have a lot to go over. First, I want to go over timelines with Chuck. I want to go over programs with Joe Biden that are in this recon. And I want to go over focus with you and how we have had such an incredible year. First, I want to go over timelines. This week, you're going to see potentially the Senate bill in its final form. Remember, if Chuck Schumer affords us a vote-a-rama, which I believe he will, they can still add things to the final bill. So I haven't said that in a few weeks. I think I need to repeat it, even though I've said it 1,000 times over the summer. You're going to see the final bill, and if you look at the final bill, remember it can still have things added in the vote-a-rama. That's the first thing. Number two. When the vote happens, the vote will likely happen around the 27th, 28th, in my prediction, but I believe it will happen in the month of December. Will you get anything for forced stimulus in your wallet in the month of December? No, absolutely not. You can't. There's no time. There's not enough time. Third, could the fourth stimulus be brought into January? I mean, it could. I think the chances are very slim at the moment, but I think they're very slim. Number three. Third stimulus. Can I get money? Can I get money before Christmas? Absolutely. And that is third stimulus. And I'm so excited for the incredible viewers of this channel who listened to the messaging of the last 2 weeks, which I want to go over a little bit more right now with detail about how to get more money for you and inspiration about how to do this. So first, if you are a person who's gotten this Christmas money, third stimulus in the recent days, and want to get some more of it, go over your notes and look and see what you got the money for. There's two ways, and this is really new on Afternoons LA. This is a little bit more robust than I've ever said before. There's two ways to get more of this third stimulus. The first way is to see things that you just missed. I mean, that's sort of obvious. So if you have water, gas, heating, oil, electric, and you just got water and gas, well, go get the heating, oil, and electric. Go get those utility bills. If you're missing utilities, which I believe 90% of the viewers who had these success stories, they're missing one or two utilities, go get that utility you're missing, because that's an extra $500, $400. And if you get a few months of it, it's a lot more. It's $1,500, $2,000. Go get that extra utilities paid for. Number two, as I showed you with that one viewer's example, how she got her electric paid twice in the same week from different organizations. You can do that. So remember, if you got the water and the electric paid this week from one organization, you could turn around to another organization and say, I need your help getting the water and electric paid for as well. They can do different months. There's different ways you can do it. So if you got money, you can get more of this money by picking up the items you missed and by getting more money for the same items you got paid already by getting more rounds of it. Next, if you haven't got any of this money, go get it today and go get it right now. The great news is that we have a full week, working week of Monday through Friday ahead of us for you to pick up the phone and call these agencies. And then some of them, especially in the case of utilities, are open on Saturday and Sunday. So get them on the phone. Next, focus. I'm very, very excited by how well you have done in this last year. I want to go back to April of 2020 and bring us all the way up to the present, show you where we were, where we are, and where we're going forward. In April of last year, I saw that millions of Americans knew about a program called the EIDL. They had applied for it, but they had not got to the money, and they didn't know why they had got to the money. So they knew that there was something out there. They went to try to get it, and they couldn't get it. So I pressed record to show them, hey, there's this thing out there. I know you know about it, and you're not getting the money. Let me show you how to do it. It's very, very similar in a way to a YouTube video that shows you how to fix something on a car. You want to, how do I fix the thing on the car? Let me open the video. Oh, okay, so do this, do that, do this. Honey, this is how we do it. Oh, it worked. That was what this channel was then. It is still that today. You're seeing these videos right here where I'm showing you how to get this money from third stimulus, how to do it, where to do it, what words to say. The videos are very informationally intense, very informationally intense. It's a news channel, but it's also very informationally intense as a sort of step how-to path to getting things across the board. In that path from April to now, there's some people that have often confused landing on this channel as a channel for opinions. And even this morning on the morning's countdown show, there was someone in the live chat that said, I don't think we're getting anything. Well, thank you for your opinion, but that's not the purpose of this channel. The purpose of this channel is not to sit me here. You don't sit me here and sitting ranting, about Chuck Schumer for 45 minutes. Chuck is this and Chuck is that. And I don't think about Chuck. And this is not an opinion channel. This is a channel to show you how to do something, And I'm so excited that so many viewers have really stayed laser focused on this is a channel that breeds incredible love and support and a community where people come to the live chat and say, how was your weekend? What are you having for dinner? And it is an entire ecosystem of a family. I love it to death. That's the spirit of the live chat when shows premiere. But it's also a channel where people are coming in and they're taking notes, and people come in the live chat say, where do I get this? And someone else says, this is how you get it. He explained it to you. He explained it. Let me explain it back to you. I love it because people are re-explaining what I've explained. For that person who came around, or persons who came around from January 1 to now as three versions of Donut Guy, they're not going to do well. They're not going to do well. They're not going to do. And earlier in this year, I said, this is not a channel for Donut Guy. Donut Guy is a guy, if you're just finding this channel, Donut Guy is a guy that says, what day is it landing in my bank account? I said, it may never land in your bank account because a lot of the stuff requires you to do something more than just hold out your hand and ask for a donut. And throughout the duration, we've had versions of Donut Guy. One version was a person, even this morning, said, there's nothing in Ohio. Oh my goodness. I mean, can I tell you how much money I've gotten people in Ohio? There's nothing, they're not going to do anything. When persons say something like there's nothing in Ohio, this is someone that's simply trying to convince themselves of a altered universe. I'm not here to help that person, because if that person doesn't want to learn and just wants to rant about a falsehood, then they don't want to learn. It's sort of like saying the carburetor on the car is broken. It'll never be fixed. Now, I'm a YouTube video to show you how to fix the carburetor. Well, it's never going to get fixed. It's just the fate of the carburetor. I can't help that person. Yeah, it can be fixed if you watch the video. I'm about to explain you how to fix the carburetor. I can't help that person, nor ever will be able to help that person. And so where are we going? Where we're going forward is we are getting the monies from third semester right this month. And we're probably going to get still next month and perhaps the month after. This is money that you can get right today. And we're going to milk that pony as much as we can get it. We're going to get as much money of that third semester as we can. Yes, they do overlap. As fourth semester becomes law, then we're going to do exactly what we did on day one. The reason why there's Purple Hawks was an expression I created on this channel, which describe people who pounce to get money as soon as it becomes law. Hawk, hawk. Pounce to get the money before anywhere else because they're diminishing funds. There's not unlimited funds in these things, folks. There's a lot of money, but there's not limited funds. And so you're going to pounce to get the money. That means that you need to be informed exactly what these provisions are when they become law. So when I have a final version of the bill, when it becomes law, we're going to go over how you do this, where you get it, and all those elements. Plus, you're going to see new programs coming on this channel, the new Metaverse show coming on this channel. It may look like it's a video game. It may look like it's just fun and dandy, but it's a real opportunity for you to make money. Lots of money. And very simply, doing things you do in the offline or in the normal universe, in the metaverse in the same way. Viewers have asked, I want more informational videos. I want information to learn how to make money, how to improve myself, how to get better financial independence. That is where this channel is taking you. And I'm excited for this incredible ride. It's just getting started. So go into this video right now and subscribe. Like this video and consider becoming a member. Join me next for the new, exciting, really great programming block every evening on this channel. It's the evenings programming block. It's 3 hours of shows, jam-packed, and a lot of fun. The first hour is Evenings LA, brand new every night at 5 o'clock. Then Evenings Countdown at 6 o'clock. Then at 7 o'clock, the new Holidays Stream Stimulus. It's Holiday LALATE from noontime put into the Stream Stimulus time slot. It's at 7 o'clock. And then 8 o'clock is Sirloin, Javita Lane, and Blaine 66 in a holiday-only run. It's called Calcino. It's not going to run forever, folks. So this is a holiday run of a special. So make sure you tune to Calcino. It's a limited run show. I don't want you to miss it because it won't be gone. It won't be here forever. Then join me thereafter for the overnight shows at 9, 10, 11:30, and 1 at 2, 3, and 4 o'clock in the morning till we go into early mornings LA. Those shows were taped, with the exception of early mornings LA, were taped back in June, about the same programs. So if you hear me refer to July, it's referring to the future at the time. And with that, have a beautiful afternoon. Thank you for all the incredible comments for the decor. And with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. Like this video and become a member so you get that incredible newsletter, which comes out Monday through Friday. Stay informed, stay focused. Have a beautiful afternoon and stay with LA for more.